Do you have a dirty little secret? Welcome to the club.
And you're all invited.
The first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
We're handing out memberships, free of charge.
Step up to the VIP line and let Dayna and Brimstone take you on a weekly ride of secrets and debauchery.
Now buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get heated on the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dirty Little Secrets Club. I'm Dayna Pereira.
And I'm Brimstone.
Brim, have you ever been axe throwing?
I have been axe throwing. You know I've been axe throwing. Once I went. I was in in Florida, and I was in Melbourne, Florida, and I went to see my friends over there. They have this axe throwing place. It is fantastic.
Oh, that's
right. And they taught me how to throw. And I'm like, wow. And I did well. I was very impressed with myself. Did you go? You went axe throwing?
Go. I'm going tomorrow. I bought my husband like a date night for Christmas. And we're cashing in tomorrow. So we'll see how my axe throwing skills are.
It's like all about how you with your throwing, you know what I mean? Like you can do it overhead with the two, and then you could do it with the one arm. Like I was better with the one arm, but it's also where you let go, and it's all in the motion,
Yeah,
but once you get it, it's all in the wrist. After you get that, like the feel for it, you should be golden. You know what I mean? You should be golden. It's a lot of fun. It was very interesting. I felt like a jackass because I'm like, I really don't want to look super bad doing this. I don't want to look bad doing this, but let's see what happens. Here we are.
It's a lot of pressure, right? It's like throwing out the first pitch. Remember, was it like 50 Cent that tried to throw out the first pitch and he was all like, meh. Do you remember that? It went viral.
But that's funny. And I feel bad for him.
He made up for it.
He made up for it hanging upside down at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it would be best for him if people remembered him for something other than his really terrible first pitch. Yeah. What do you call it? Wow. I wouldn't want to be that. I wouldn't want that to happen. And for me, I had something similar, not the pitch, but like I always will play in like the celebrity softball games whenever they ask. And what do you call it? And I actually I slid into first. And you're not supposed to slide into first at all, especially in softball, I guess. Or you're not supposed to slide into first in softball. But I wanted to make sure to hit. And I was like, crap. And I slid into first like a jackass. And they were like, looking at me, they're like, you're not supposed to slide into first. I was like, yeah, I know. But I completely didn't think about it. It is what it is. But yeah, you're like, but I made it. So
yeah, so I looked like a jackass. It is okay. It's all right. It's okay. Anyways, what do you call it? So here we are again, another week of the wonderful, wonderful Dirty Little Secrets Club. I love this club. All right.
And some sick ass Dirty Little Secrets Club too.
Yes, I actually saw the first one and I'm just blown away. And and you know me, I always wait to look at the at the
like the surprise factor.
I do. But we've been sitting in kibitzing here for a while, and before we came on, and I kind of like peeked it, and I'm going, oh my God, that's wow. Okay, so you I'm sure you'll still get the crazed factor in my head when we're talking about it, but like reading it ahead of time was like, all right, this is interesting. Very interesting. Also, hopefully you guys hear me better this week. What do you call it? I'm going through my, studio system rather than just my laptop and so forth. So hopefully you can see me and hear me better. And if you do, give us a thumbs up and a 5-star rating. That'd be awesome. See what I think? Five stars.
Oh, way to sneak that in there, Brim. I like it.
That's the name of it. And a nice review. This sounded so awesome. I love it. We had a great reaction.
Audio quality.
Yeah, great. It's the awesome. What do you call it? The cool comment on I think this past week's show was what do you call that our laughing is contagious or is infectious or something like that. I was like, that is so sweet.
Aww.
Thank you so much. So the person who wrote that, thank you so much. We appreciate that. That was so kind. And I was just so like, oh, that's great. And they said both of us. So I was like, all right, it wasn't just Dayna they were complimenting. They were complimenting both of us.
Well, that's because I cackle. I don't have a laugh. I have a cackle. So they were obviously talking about you.
No, it was us. They said both of us. And I was like, we're the dynamic duo. It's amazing. I love it.
It's like we have fun on this show or something.
I love this show. You have no idea how much I look forward to doing this show every single week and seeing your face every week. And what do you call it? The thing that sucks the most is that we're on different coasts. Otherwise, we'd be hanging out all the time.
I
like
know.
It sucks. It is what it is. But what do you call it? We've already discussed things that we have in play. You people can be very excited when we finally put those things into action. You guys can be like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Stay tuned.
As long as you're part of the club, you'll know. You know what I'm saying? It's like the secret, knock or the secret handshake. You know what I'm saying? You guys get to hear all the secret stuff. So that's all I'm saying. Right now. Right now. Do you want to let everybody know again, since they are, most of them are returning members of the Dirty Little Secrets Club, and I'm sure they know the rule. But for the new people that are coming in, what's the one rule, Dayna? The one simple rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club. You want to bestow that upon them?
Yeah, guys. The first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is to tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club. So stop what you're doing. Turn to your left, you tell that person next to you about the Dirty Little Secrets Club, and then turn to your right and you tell that person about the Dirty Little Secrets Club. Maybe turn around. If there's somebody under 18, maybe don't tell that person about it, but over 18, please tell them about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
Absolutely. I went to turn around, like you said, and I almost choked myself with the mic wire. I was like, oh, that wasn't good. It's like this. No, that wasn't good.
No,
but everything else. Yeah, there we go. And also, just for everybody out there, if you are familiar with Cameo, Dayna and I are both on Cameo, and we are also on a new service called Signed, which is something a little different. But if you're interested in either of them, you can get all that information from our official website or our personal official website. So definitely check that out. Correct?
Yeah,
and what's the website,
sure.
Dayna?
Our website is thedirtylittlesecretsclub.com.
So make sure you check that out. And you can also add your dirty little secret anonymously. And you can let us know what's going on in your head and what you're trying to keep away from everybody else, but you really need to get it off your chest so we can know anonymously. And then we can talk about it and have some fun with it here on the show. Isn't that amazing?
Exactly. That's what this show is all about.
That's what I'm saying, man. Are you ready to get started, D? Because
I am ready.
This stuff right here, I'm the first one especially. I'm just kind of like, I can't believe I'm reading this right now. But it's. I mean, and the way it's put, it's just kind of like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Literally. But we will get into that. You're reading this one, correct? Or is this me?
I can read it if you don't want to.
I don't care. It's up to you. Who goes first? Me?
You. Yeah.
I forget I'm old. Do you forget this? I have like 10 years on you, sweetheart. The brain's not, working at full speed anymore.
I am feeling that hard these days. Seriously.
Well, you've got mom brain. It's different. You're responsible for a ton of different people. Even though I have my kids, what do you call it? Danielle is more, like she's the one that runs all that crap. So you guys have like all these tabs open at any given point in your brain. So you have mom brain. That's different. You're entitled to mom brain. I shouldn't be slow as I am. I don't have a reason to be.
And old brain combined together. So whenever that happens, like, whew. Good times.
Let me ask you a serious question now. Which is worst? I'm sorry. Which is worse, mom brain or pregnancy brain?
I'm gonna go mom brain right now.
Okay.
Because it's longer. Like you have the pregnancy brain, but you only have that for, until you become the mom. And then it's just non-fucking stop after
nonstop.
That. Yeah.
Did you have any crazy, were you like needing anything like pickles or chopped liver or something crazy? What did you get? What was your thing?
So with Mason and Kai, I had to have milk with every meal.
Wow.
I had it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I milk all the time. And I really loved, this is a weird thing, but it was a cheeseburger hamburger helper in a tortilla. I had to, I put it in a big ass tortilla with sour cream all over it. And frozen high seas was the other one.
The frozen high seas, wait, not in it. Okay, on the side. That's different. Okay.
Yes.
It's not that bad. Those aren't bad. I can feel you on all those. I'm not hating on those.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah, there was nothing like, I wasn't like eating dirt or like, dipping pickles in, ice cream or anything like that. But
no. Yeah. That's interesting. Oh man, what do you call it? All right, that's good. It's weird. It's so weird that you get this thirst for some of that stuff. But in terms of the whole milk deal, what do you call it? Just so everybody's aware, and this is completely out of left field, but did you know that they actually put backstage at different competitions and so forth, like singing competitions, they put milk, and if you actually go and drink the milk, you automatically ousted because you're not supposed to drink milk before you sing. It messes with your throat. Mm-hmm.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Technically, you're not supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do it before you do voice work and all that stuff either. I just, I do creamer in my milk, so I just don't care. But what do you call it? Yeah, you get nixed right away if you're like a backup singer or any of that.
And you go for the
put
milk.
It out. And if you go for they put it out on purpose to see if you know better or not, because then you're on national television. If you go up there and you sound like garbage, you know what I mean? That makes them look really bad. So yeah. Interesting.
Well, there you go. Insider tip: stay away from the milk.
So what's funny is that if you had been working or doing any of that while you were pregnant, you might have gotten kicked off the shows because you needed the milk.
Because I had a pregnancy craving.
Yes. Now here's another question, and it's a little personal, but what do you call it? And we might have had this conversation before, and I will tell one of my dirty little secrets is what do you call it? We're talking about milk. Was your husband, like when you were pregnant, did he enjoy the spoils of the milk, or was he not for it?
I made him taste it once.
Okay.
Because I was like, you just have to taste it. Like it's like your rite of passage. You have to know what it tastes like. But no, he wasn't like at the teat all the time.
Really?
He had a little taste. Yeah. I
loved it. I loved when my wife was pregnant. I loved everything about the milk and all the jazz. And when it's, super ready to go, just all over the place. I'll just be like, wee! Just take care of me, sweetheart. I love it. I am all for it. And I'm cool. I love the taste and everything. It's so weird because some people are just like, oh no, I don't want. It's like, dude, first of all, if a girl is going to sit and go down on your stank ass and freaking, take whatever the hell you're going to let out, in her mouth, whether it's the whole thing or just a little taste, then you sure as shit can sit and drink the breast milk and be happy about it. You know what I mean?
And I'll tell you, one tastes better than the other. You want to take a guess which one?
The milk tastes better. It's sweet and delicious. Oh my Lord. It's so good. And then what do you call it? And that's the whole thing with like guys that, that like, oh, I won't go down. Oh, I don't want to go down there. It's like, are you stupid? Like really? Like first, but you expect her to go down on you? Are you kidding me? For real. Like I'm happy as a pig in shit. I'll be there. I'll sit here, just jump on. I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. It boggles my mind. Anyway, so now that we've talked about all this other stuff, we should probably get onto the dirty little secrets.
Yeah. And you know what? It's funny because this dirty little secret kind of relates to a lot of the stuff we were just talking about.
Which is why I kind of went there. You see what I'm saying? I had a method to my madness. I did. A little bit. So here we go. So our first writer says, I'm traumatized after finding out my husband had a poop in his butt crack during a blowjob. We were 69ing and everything was great. After finishing, we went to clean up. He bent over and then I saw it. I don't know how I didn't smell it during. I wanted to gag and throw up. He claims he showered that morning and had wiped until he had clean teepee after pooping that day. I don't know if I can ever look at him the same. Holy shit. Literally. I mean, I'm sorry, but how do you miss a chunk of poop in your hiney? Like the way she's putting it, it's like a nugget, right?
It feels like a very noticeable thing. Like if you bent over,
right,
there's a turd or a skid mark or whatever.
Right.
I feel like he should have known that was there.
And the thing is like, look, I mean, if you have, what do you call it? Oh my, I can't believe I just completely blanked out. But if you have what is it called again? With your hiney hole, when it can get,
like
the thing that comes in it. No. You are so adorable, Dayna. This is why I love you so much. You really, you mean
I'm
like
trying
swamp ass?
so hard to help.
No, a hemorrhoid.
Oh, yes.
If you have a hemorrhoid,
like a grape in your asshole, and then I would have been like hemorrhoid.
Well, I was doing it like this, but I guess it was too low. I was down here, so you just saw this.
I just thought you were jerking off.
Exactly.
Listen, if I was again,
if I was that big, I'd be very impressed with myself. But no, that's why I was trying to do this. Like, see this? Like this, the whole. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Of course, the people listening have no fucking clue what I'm saying. But if you have one of those, what do you call it? Sometimes it doesn't matter how much you clean. You could still get like a little bit of leakage there, but you notice it and you can go and you can take care of it. But if you're about to sit and go and be intimate like that, especially if you're going into it, getting ready to do 69 and whatnot, go in the shower. Do your wife a favor, or your gal a favor, or your guy a favor, and just shower real quick. And this way you're coming out mean and clean. You know what I mean? Like, here we are. I'm ready to go. Do a little Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, I'm clean for you. Anyway, like that's what I'm talking about. Clean yourself up. How dare you, sweetheart? I am so sorry that he had a poop in his butt crack. And what do you call it? If you're handing out BJs, well, I'm happy to have a conversation because I will not have the poop in my crack. No, I can't. I'm married. I almost forgot.
Oh, wow. Don't forget that.
So
that's an important detail.
So, well, half our listeners don't care about that.
That's true. That's true. Don't let them rub off on you.
No. I'm not letting anybody rub off on me. Okay.
Especially on your face.
Especially. Ew. Anyways, yeah. No.
Man.
Booty scoot. Like I can't. I'm passing it to you. I can't.
I understand the trauma. I see he totally screwed himself now because now every time he's going to want to go do that, she's going to be triggered and it's going to be like PTSD and he's just never going to get 69 again.
Yeah. I mean, unless she was thinking like, look, if she was like all about ready for a bunkin', that's a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, this is not the case. This was absolutely not the case.
No.
Oy.
What a bummer.
Yeah, what a bum. I see what you did there. A bummer. Oh, wow. Well played, Dayna. Well played. And meanwhile,
you're usually good with the wordplay, not me.
meanwhile, she's like, he claims he showered that morning, but what do you call it?
She doesn't believe him. She's like, oh, he claims he did this.
But here's the thing.
Allegedly.
Like if I'm not smelling right down there, you know what I mean? Even if Danielle's going to put her head on my lap, you know what I mean? And not do anything. Mm-hmm. I'm like, come put your head on my chest or let me go to the bed. Let me go to the shower real quick.
Yeah.
This way, you're not going to be getting a woof of stank. You know what I mean? Because listen, a man is a man is a man, unless you're a tiny man that, doesn't do all that much. A guy like me, a big dude, or what do you call it? Like, guys that are, active all fucking day, you're going to get an odor. It's going to smell. You know what I mean? Unless at least a little bit, unless you use like that ball cleaner or, you know what I'm saying? Like there's this stuff like, it's kind of like odor eaters for your nuts. I can't remember the name of it, but it actually works really, really well. If I know I'm wearing like some kind of tight jeans and I'm going to be out all day, I make sure to use it. But what do you call it? It like but still, like, the fact of the matter is that, you should have been going into it clean, especially if you took a dump that day. Hell, I'm self-conscious. After I go to the bathroom, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not doing a goddamn thing until I take a shower, no, you know what I mean? Like, if we're just getting it on and that's that, you know what I mean? And we're just going in there and being, ready to go, like, that's a different animal. But there's nothing extracurricular happening. You know what I'm saying? And, even then sometimes it's like maybe I should have showered. And sometimes, the woman says the same thing. Well, maybe I should have showered. Don't deal with it, But, it is what it is. But how can you go through an entire day after, I don't care if you showered, go through a whole day, took a dump, went all over, and then it's like, come suck it, baby. I'm here for you. Right?
I mean,
Am I wrong?
Time. No, I just have a hard time understanding how he didn't feel it. that feels, there's something going on there. I mean, do you have a numb butt crack or, yeah, I'm sorry, bud. You're done with the 69. You have to turn in your 69 card because it's being revoked. It's being revoked.
Here's another thing. Like now, and the Poopinator is going to have to write back to us because we don't have all the details here. Was it like a nugget? Was it a big piece of something in there? Was it a dingleberry? A dingleberry, it's not excusable, but it's excusable. You know what I mean? Guys have hair all over in there, and then sometimes, I mean, I don't necessarily have the hairiest
like
butt crack,
dog that just gets like stuck on their butt.
But that could happen. That could happen. I could give that a pass because even if you wipe that, you might not be able to get. But dingleberry is not a poop. You are specifically stating poop here. So yes. I'm picturing like a nugget, at least the size of a marble. You know what I mean? And having it like jammed up somewhere. Like I don't know.
Apologies
I don't know.
to this woman. I'm sorry that you went through that. A little therapy. Hopefully it's right up.
Goes a long way, right?
Yes.
All right. You're next.
Okay. This one says, I'm in a prominent position in my religious community, but I'm really an atheist. I joined for a place to belong, and I do love everyone, but I just pretend to believe.
Wow. Okay. You know what I think? I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
I think that everybody kind of, listen, there are some people that they're, like swear by the religion and so forth. And like, you know what I mean? Like, but come on, man. I gotta believe that there are a good portion of people that, they just go through the motions. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Jewish. I love, I love Judaism. I love being Jewish. I love my religion. I used to, when I was a kid, I went to Hebrew school. I went to Jewish camp. I went to a Jewish private school in between, Uniondale High and so forth. Yeah. I went to, what the hell is it called? Like social club, you know what I mean? At the temple, like I always went, I was bar mitzvahed. So like all of this stuff, like I appreciate my religion, but years later, like, all right, well, we only go on the high holy days, and if that, and you know what I mean? It's like, after some of the crap that's happened to me in my life, what I believe and what I don't believe, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. You know what I mean? I hate to say it like that, but it's true. You know what I mean?
I get it. And then also, I mean, I understand where somebody might think like it's like a club, right? You join this religion or you are a member of the church, and then it comes with a lot of perks. You have a lot of friends. There's a lot of gatherings. You have pasta nights. You're taking communion together on Sundays. You're singing together. It is a community of people. So I can understand why you wouldn't want to lose that, even though you may be questioning or saying that it's not necessarily something that you believe in, but the community of people is comforting and makes you feel good.
Yeah, see, and here's the thing: I believe there's a God. I believe certain things. I don't. There, and again, I am about the religion, but I'm also not like running to temple every day. You know what I mean? Going, to church when some people they have to go to church every Sunday and they go to church every Sunday. When they go to church every Sunday, whoa, and I respect that. But does everybody really feel that they need to be there? Is it more so like, well, my mother, my father, my grandparents, they started this, and so it's like tradition, and I kind of feel that I need to be there, just like with what you said also. And there are all these other perks and not perps. That's for another conversation.
Well, there's
that we have.
those too in the Catholic Church.
This is true. We this is just speculation. What do you call it? At the end of the day, like there's got to be a lot more people, that they really, maybe they're not atheists per se,
right?
But that they just pretend to believe more so than they actually do. Listen, if you do something good, doesn't mean that, I don't believe that, God or if your God is Jesus or whatever, you're thinking, they're not going to necessarily be blessing you. If you do something bad, I don't think they're necessarily going to be harming you. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that I know that have done a lot of really bad things.
Totally.
And I do believe in karma to a certain extent, but some people have done really bad things and have never been punished a day in their life. And they should be. Now, that being said, there are a lot of people that have done so many good things and positive things, and they're good people, and all the shit happens to them. Listen, my mother was a very good person. She did, she gave back to everybody. She did what she had to do. And she died the way she died. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's like when that happened, that kind of put me in a position like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. You know what I mean? I really don't know how I feel. And then when the bad things happen, it's like God will only throw to you what he or she feels you can handle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But sure shit, man, you must think I'm a camel or an elephant or something, because sometimes I'm like, that's way too much weight on my shoulders. But it is what it is. Like, I think that people place failure and success and happiness and being miserable all on a quote unquote a God, when in actuality it's all on you individually and how you put yourself and handle yourself through life.
You get some choice in that matter.
And I hope I'm not offending anybody. I'm not trying to.
I don't think that what you're saying is offensive. I definitely think that, there's times where you take accountability for your own actions. And then there's also times when people, instead of taking accountability for their actions, they put it on a higher power of some sort. Right. So I get what you're saying there. I understand.
And then you got the guy from the Amityville Horror House who killed his whole family because a higher power or a different type of creature spoke to them in his head and said, kill everybody. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, though. I'm in jest here, but at the end of the day, I respect the people that absolutely love their religion and they live by it. That's great. And I have no qualms with that. I have no qualms with who you pray to. Whether you're praying to different gods, whether you're praying to the same God, Jesus, this, whatever, the Easter Bunny, I don't care who you're praying to. That's between you and whoever you're praying to. You know what I'm saying?
I actually just went back and looked because I was like, did he or she, I guess, say what religion they were, and they don't. They just say my religious community. So that's interesting. And you know what? Hopefully you're in a community that, accepts you for how you are. You clearly have not come out per se, but there's a lot of different communities out there. And, for example, my ex's mother is a Lutheran pastor. And man, they are way more open and accepting of certain things and lifestyles and stuff like that than, maybe a Roman Catholic church might be, or evangelistic, or, so now I'm curious what this guy is a part of.
It's, listen, it could be Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, 5 million other things. Like the way they're putting it, it sounds like they're part of a, the chain, which is usually a churchy type of a thing. When they're saying religious community, it's more of a churchy thing, because remember, even though I'm Jewish, I taught in churches. Like there was one of the federations that I worked for, which was owned by one of my former students. They actually had their school in a church, one of the biggest churches here on Long Island in New York. And so I spent a lot of time, with all these the pastors and the, you know what I mean, and you hear things and you see things, and and the way they say, usually when they're saying religious community and positions within a religious community, it usually is something on that, you know what I mean? And that I don't see this as a Jewish person, although because and in Judaism and in temple, for the most part, people aren't always like, God and God is good and blah, blah, blah. And, there's a little bit of that, but it's very, very different, between the two religions. So I'm thinking that this might, I don't think this is a Jewish person. And if it is, I would be wrong. I know plenty of Jewish atheists, you know what I mean? So, one of my best friends is Jewish and he's an atheist, so, so that's, it is what it is. But I am curious as well. Not that it matters.
No.
I think that, it's, again, this journey and a religious journey. I think religion is there for people to have something to believe in, It's just, whether you want to give it your whole heart and your whole body and your whole mind, or if you just want to give it a small piece of you, that's all up to you. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to believe in it at all, you don't need it to believe in anything, then, atheism is for you. That's great too. I'm not judging you. I really don't care. I just, with the wording here, when you said about, I wonder what it is.
Yeah.
That's just why I went into more detail, where I thought that could definitely be, not Protestant, but like a real Catholic, heavy, you know what I mean? Very, you know what I'm saying?
Like devout kind of.
Yeah.
Thing.
And like the big locations, big church, big choir, big, you know what I mean? Like that's what I get from there, because they have positions within the community. There's not too many positions in the Jewish, there's a cantor and there's the rabbi and, maybe a couple of other people, and that's it. The only people that you really deal with are the cantor and he sings or she sings, and then the rabbi, and the rabbi is basically the main go-to, and that's it, unless you're talking like PTA, but it's not PTA. Well, I guess for the Jew school and everything. I don't know. Let's get off the subject, because I'm just going to put myself in a hole unintentionally. I don't think I've gotten there yet, but right now I think we're in a good place.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood today. I'm happy.
I know. I love it.
I'm happy. So, okay. Now it's me, right? Let's move on. Okay. This is interesting. I draw my own porn and jerk off to it. I even imagine the scenario and the names and what they would say. I've drawn about 400 now, and I know it will be really awkward if anyone ever finds them, but I can't bring myself to throw them away. Wow, man. Wow.
Man, I hope these aren't stick figures.
With two big circles. That's
how you know it's a girl.
If you got to have 3 circles in order to know that it's a boob. You know what I mean? Because you got to have the boob, and then you have to have the the areola, and then the nipple itself. So you have to make sure they're anatomically correct. I'm guilty. I've drawn naked women my entire life. And I always draw them in like a very similar position. And and Danielle makes fun of me and laughs about it all the time, because if I'm sitting there and doodling and I'll draw it, and she's like, oh my God, like I draw vaginas. I love vagina. So I will draw a vagina. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Some people draw penises. I draw vaginas. It is what it is. It is a secret of mine and mine alone. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
But I mean, listen, it's not a bad thing, like if you're sitting and doodling and then you make that nice little, thing of the nice, you know what I mean? And the little doors and the little, I love it, man. And so I am fine with that. Now, jerking off to it is a different level. Jerking off to him, I don't see that. I don't see myself ever doing that. But what do you think, Dayna?
I'm actually impressed with this person's imagination, because if I am stating this correctly, and you can tell me yes or no, but I feel like most dudes just want to see it in action and like, get to it and get off instead of trying to make up a scenario in their head of what they might be saying and what their names are and, like stuff like that. Like this guy seems like pretty deep into it with his imagination and jerking off to his own drawings.
That could be real big creeper mode, Dayna. That might be a steer fucking clear of this guy, or gal. We never know. I mean, it could be either way. But seriously, man, like, yeah, no, that's like creepy. That's called creeper shit. Listen, no offense, you do you, boo boo. But I don't know, man. It's a little wacky, a little wanky, a little wanky.
And I'm really curious also. You
snorted.
You just snorted.
I snorted again. Off a dumb joke. Okay. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just curious what these drawings actually look like. Like, are you a really good artist? Or are you the stick figure guy? Like because like that would also go into the imagination thing, right? Like if you are able to jerk off to a stick figure, then it doesn't take much for you, clearly.
Yes, you're absolutely positively correct. But if they're an incredible artist and they draw like some really crazy stuff, that's a different. Listen, that's exactly. A little bit different. Maybe I'll give you a little bit of props on that. Like, God damn, I made that ass nice. Woo! Yeah. See that little lump there? That's delicious. Okay, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. But if you're drawing stick figures or little doodles and you wank into that, I'm sorry, but I can't with that. I can't. Oh, this is Nancy. She looks like a pretzel. Like, come on, man. Come on, for reals? Seriously.
And now that's what I'm gonna picture whenever I think of this guy.
Oh, lordy. All right, so you want to move to the next one?
Yep. This one says, I love my fiance, and all I wanted to do from the very beginning was run away with him and marry him. Oh. Instead, I've been forced into planning a wedding I don't want. I've done almost everything by myself. I'm tired of listening to both families complain about the choices I've made. I'm tired of listening to them complain about tiny, insignificant details when there is still major decisions that need to happen. I'm tired of hearing that they feel they have no role when I don't love the color scheme they picked for my wedding. Families are exhausting, and I'm ready to run away.
First of all, let's go back to one sentence and let's really extend those, the they and the my.
Oh, yeah.
They picked for my wedding. You got to get in there. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Do it again. Use the improv class. Use the get into the cut. Go ahead. Do it again.
Yeah, because I don't love the color scheme that they picked for my wedding.
Yes. Cut scene. Perfect. Print. That's what I'm talking about, Dayna. Nice. That's craziness. Now, okay. Listen, lady first, you take this because you may or may not have been in this position, but it's usually the woman who is excited about this stuff.
I was lucky enough to not be put in this position because we paid for our own wedding. So I didn't give a shit what anybody else think. I didn't give a shit what anybody else think.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Let me repeat that. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Okay,
nailed it.
There we go. Okay. All right.
So I wasn't really in that position. I chose what I wanted to choose. Joe and I made decisions together. We went and picked the venue. Nobody else was involved. We were like, hey, this is the date. Show up, bring a gift. Don't be dramatic. We're all going to have fun. And that was that. However, I do know, and I won't name them, a person that is wedding planning. And it is difficult because the families are involved and they do have big opinions. Oof. And God, I wish families would just back the fuck off. It's not your day. You had your wedding already. Let her plan her day.
Yeah, it's a really, really tough thing, and you're getting it from both sides. And sometimes the both sides are not necessarily on the same page. And then it gets even crazier when you've got more than the two sides, because you're coming, some people are from divorced families, and now you've got people saying, "Oh, well, this one has to be here, and this one has to be invited," and blah 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 blah. Like with our wedding, we didn't really have anybody really. With the colors or this schemes, that was all us, and and Danielle really did a lot of the work on that. What do you call it? But now, what do you call it? In terms of oh my God, I just completely blanked out. It's my fault because I looked down for 2 seconds. Oh my Lord.
Are we talking like church? Are we talking venues? Are we talking
the guests? So when it comes to I come from a divorced home. So what do you call it? My mother didn't want to have anything to do. I don't even want them at the wedding. Well, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to deal with that because it's my father and my stepmother. But then what do you call it? They couldn't be anywhere near. So this table has to be all the way over here. And this table has to be all the way over there, and they can never the tween meet. And what do you call it? And I need to make sure you have all these people that are invited, all these cousins that, blah, blah. I'm going, listen, you can invite all of them. You're paying for them.
Right. Yeah. It's $27 a head. So you let me know when you're going to cut the check.
Oh, I wish it was $27 a head. You know what I mean?
Put a number out of my ass.
Yeah. Even 27 is even a lot. But when you're talking about, and we got it down, we had like the most extravagant shit. And, we worked out deals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt that I'm me. What do you call it? So, but we were able to work it out. And even that, we were still close to, in the $100 range, what I mean?
Yeah.
And that it gets expensive, and people don't think about that. It's like, I'm not sitting and putting out that money for these people. I don't know them that well. Or if I know them, I don't care enough about them to have them at my fucking wedding. You know what I mean? They don't call me to say, hey, how are you? They don't fucking send me a birthday card. They don't call me and wish me a happy new day. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. I'm riding the horses today, if you haven't noticed.
Love those horses today.
So, yeah. Anyways, but I'm with you. Let people be, let them do their own thing. And that's that. You know what I'm saying?
It's their day. Let them do what they want to do. It always boggled my mind that somebody had such a big opinion for somebody else's wedding day. I'm like, what? It's not up to you. And why are you so high strung that you're holding on to this thing that has nothing to do with you?
Right.
Families can be very difficult. And I hate to tell you this, fiance, but if they have a big opinion about the wedding, they're going to have a big opinion about your future children.
Yep. Children, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you present yourself, the things you do with your kids, the car you drive, the job you have, and all the things in between.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. It is what it is.
Set that boundary right fucking now before it gets out of hand is my advice to you.
I'm lucky, man. I gotta say I'm lucky. With my ex, I was cool with my in-laws. I still am friendly with them to this day. I'm actually friendlier with them now, not being married to my ex, than when I was with my ex. What do you call it? More so my father-in-law, my ex-father-in-law. What do you call it? They're good people. I have no problems with them. They're very good to my kids. You know what I mean? So I have no ill will for them whatsoever. And my in-laws now, I love them to death, so what do you call it? And they're great. And, again, and they're good to all my kids, even the ones that are their step grandchildren, you know what I mean? And, so I can't complain. And they're not judgy, and if they are, we have conversations about things, but it's I don't have a problem with them. I got lucky. I got lucky. That's it.
I did too. My in-laws, they don't have big opinions about anything. Even my own family doesn't have big opinions about anything. But I think that, it's important that it makes my life a lot easier whenever I don't have to fight with somebody else and their big opinion about my life.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Very true. All right. So we're on the last one.
I love this one.
Is this me?
It's you.
Yeah. Okay. You ready? Here it is.
Ready.
I broke my ankle because I was running from the you asshole. I didn't read this one ahead of time. That took a turn. Okay. Whoosah. Okay, hold on a second. I broke my ankle because I was running from the cops after tearing down a racist sign in someone's yard. Long story short, I saw the sign on my way home from the bar. I snuck into the yard and ripped it out. And then I saw a car coming. In my drunkenness, I just assumed it was the cops, so I started to run. I ended up falling down a hill and immediately felt the pain. The car drove by, and it was not a cop. So I basically broke my ankle for being drunk and stupid. I just told everyone I tripped on my way home from the bar. Holy cow. Wow. Yeah, that's okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. Aha. That's a good one. Holy crap.
Oh, I love it. I love so much that in their drunkenness, it was like every car was a cop car because they were doing something that they weren't supposed to be doing.
Doing something wrong. The moral of the story is don't do something wrong and you won't fuck yourself up.
Oh, man.
Holy crap. I mean, being drunk it certainly didn't help anything.
Yes.
Oh my God. I remember when, years ago, and we were being stupid. And listen, and I'm going to put it out there now. And I shouldn't have done it when I did it. I was, acting foolish with a couple of friends. And but you should never take anything out of somebody's yard. You don't know what it means to them. And so forth. So let me just state that this was a long time ago and I felt bad and I returned the thing that I took. So I'm not saying that and obviously didn't know who it was, but that's a different, I'll tell you privately off air. So I went in
my head right now. It's a goose lawn ornament. Just so you know, it's a goose.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This goose. It was really late. It was Danielle and I were in the car and then friends were in another car and we were just getting like stupid things from people's yards and and I went and I jumped out and I was driving. I stopped the car. I jumped out and I ran to this lawn and I grabbed it. Right. And I grabbed it. And as I started to run, it was fucking attached to a wire because apparently it must have lit up. And I janked me back and I was like, whoa, because I wasn't expecting it. So I slipped and I fell back on the freaking lawn. And I was so mad that happened and everybody's cracking up and it's like 3 a.m. And this was before they had video cameras on everybody's lawns. As I was so mad, I took the fucking thing and I ripped it out of the ground and I took it with me. And I felt bad that I did it afterwards because I didn't want to ruin anybody's property. And I also didn't want to, take it for good. I was going to drop it off, which I wound up doing anyway. And I left money for it to be fixed. That's how nice of a person I am. I fucked with you, but then I took care of it. But at the end of the day, how crazy is that? Right.
Yeah.
It was attached. So stupid me. But you shouldn't do that because it is illegal. You shouldn't do things like that. It's people's property. And sometimes, they get things or it's an heirloom or whatever it is. You don't want to take things off people's property. It's, as a kid, I thought it was funny. But, as an adult, I go, this is not,
it's less funny as you get older for sure. My favorite thing about this actually is they actually felt the pain though. If you were I wonder how drunk you are. I know that I had a girlfriend that went to run and jump onto somebody's back whenever she was wasted and he caught her legs, but not the top of her. And she fell backwards and smacked her head on the pavement, split her head open. And she was cracking up laughing while the ambulance was coming to get her to stitch her back up because she cracked her head open in a drunken stupor.
That is so freaking awful. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, that girl wasn't you, right?
It was not me.
Okay.
It was not me. Sure. No. Yeah. I mean, I've done some stupid shit before, but I don't think I've ever like really injured myself.
Oof.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Well, that's about it for this week's episode. What do you call it? Moral of the story is don't do stupid shit. Do stupid shit, win stupid prizes. That's it, and end the story. It's end the story. So again, everybody, listen, we're coming to a close. We really appreciate you. We thank you for tuning in every single week. We appreciate it. 5-star reviews, if possible. We'd appreciate that. Dayna will do her thing on social media, as you all know. I will not. What do you call it? Make sure that you, if you have interest, hit us up on Cameo, on on Signed. Also, Dayna, before we leave, want to remind them about the Entertainment Network?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I started the Entertainers Network, and we're just featuring entertainers across the board, and also going to have some really cool articles and stuff like that are going up on the website. So if you're looking for advice or you want to be featured, you can go to theenetwork.com.
Perfectness. As always, guys, remember the first little rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is to tell everybody about the Dirty Little Secrets Club. See, I did it that time. It wasn't as sexy as when you do it.
It was so good. You nailed it. It's like you're practicing in a mirror.
I am kind of, sort of. I'm in like whatever. Anyway, listen, guys, we love you. Mwah! And we will see you again next week. Think we want something from you, you got another thing coming.